listened intently to the Minister of Transportation this morning and the Associate Minister, and I believe that the Minister said that we have, and I'm sure she has the stats to back it up, the safest roads in North America. I'm not here to dispute that statistics show we might have the safest roads in North America. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that not everyone thinks that. And there are stretches of provincial highway in this province that no one believes are contributing to that stat. I would say, and I'm now going to concentrate on my own part of the world for a second, Highway 11, north of North Bay. When you go over Tebow Hill and you leave the 4 lanes and you are on a Trans-Canada highway that is 2-lane. And people are afraid of the trucks, and I think the trucks are afraid of the road. The truck drivers are afraid of the road. And I kid you not, this winter has been a very easy winter in our part of the world, I think all over, but our part of the world, incredibly easy winter. And most winters, and I talked about it this morning with the Minister of Transportation, I spend a lot of time on a normal year going after whoever is the Minister of Transportation because of winter road maintenance. Even though we weren't here very much because of cohorts and COVID, that wouldn't have been the case this year because we had a pretty easy winter. But every time it snowed, Highway 11 was closed because there would be transports jackknifed, transports in the ditch, and it was almost like clockwork. You look out the window and you saw snow and you just knew that at some point the highway was going to be closed that day. That tells you that something's wrong. This is the Trans-Canada Highway, Speaker. You know, it's people sometimes joke that every one of my speeches has cows. This is not a cow path. It is the Trans-Canada Highway, and I've seen my share of cow paths. But there's a problem. And we have to address that problem. I heard this morning that the minister, there is a local group, the GEMS Committee in our area, and they've been pushing a long time for a pilot project on a 2+1 highway system. And for briefly, 2+1, so the ideal would be a fully divided 4-lane for the Trans-Canada Highway. That would be the ideal. I don't think anyone's disputing that. We don't know how long it's going to take to get the ideal. But our people continue to die. And also, from an economic point of view, each time the Trans-Canada Highway is closed, there are miles of trucks waiting. Millions of dollars lost. I don't think any amount of money equates to a life, but from a strict monetary point of view, having Highway 11 closed in the wintertime costs the country bundles of money. And it's Ontario costing the country the bundles of money. So a local group, and there's several people involved, but I think the person who deserves to definitely be mentioned here is Mark Wilson, who has pushed this. And I don't know, Mark tragically lost a child on Highway 11. And Mark has taken that grief, and his family have taken that grief, and they've channeled it to push for this 2+1 system. And basically what 2+1 is a continuous, it's basically a three-lane highway with a passing lane, and then a passing lane on the other side, and a passing lane. But when the one side has a passing lane, there is a barrier. So the side without the passing lane can't pass. And that's used in Nordic countries. And it could be tried here. It should be tried here. Now, initially, the ministry refused it. There was a study done. The study said it should be looked at. The ministry refused it. To the minister's credit, the ministry changed their mind. And as far as I knew, they had said that there was, they were going to fund a study. And everyone was excited because we're going to fund a study. Well, I wasn't quite as excited as everyone else because I wasn't born yesterday, and often studies really not too much. But this morning I heard that the minister was going to, she said she was going to fund the project. And I was happy when I heard that this morning. And I hope, I look forward to working with the minister and with the GEMS committee and with Mark to get that project off the ground. Because until this morning, I thought it was just on paper. Because I haven't seen anything that said it wasn't just on paper. This morning, I take the minister at her word. And she said that the project was going ahead. And that, again, it's not in this bill. Well, I looked for it in the budget, too. It wasn't in the budget. But that is a step